Welcome to the City of Atem, and welcome to Did You Know season opening of season 3. So, I talk a lot about the City of Atem, and I never really show you what it looks like. So, tonight we're going to revisit a conversation that we had with GDeuce of Bara Financial Services in season 2. We're going to go by her space, tour it, and she's going to give us some valuable tax season tips to get ready for your tax preparations for 2024. Come on with us. Well, hello, hello, hello. Happy New Year, everybody. We haven't seen you in a few weeks, but we are back with season 3. And as you can see, the Did You Know is in a different space this week. So I will be introducing a new segment at Did You Know called On the Road in the City of Atem. And that's what we're doing tonight. We hit the road. And our first stop, we wanted to come and revisit Bara Financial Services. Remember, you guys met her in season 2. She dropped some gems with us with opening business and finances. So tonight we want to revisit that conversation with her as well as it's tax season. And she has some information that we need. So, everybody, let's get this show started. I'm so happy for this season, and we have a great lineup of individuals that we want to present to you. So, to refresh your memory of who she is, um, GDeuce, she is the founder of Bara Financial Services, who provides expert financial solutions tailored to evolving needs in credit repair, tax preparation, and grant writing. She specializes in business formation and financial literacy, education, and empowering clients to make informed decisions about their future. From strategic investment planning to personal financial management, Bara Financial Services serves as a backbone for creators and entrepreneurs seeking financial growth and stability, ensuring personalized solutions to adapt an ever changing economy. Please welcome, ladies and gentlemen, welcome her back, G Deuce of Bara Financial Services. Hey, G Deuce.
Hey, thank you, Amina. Thank you for
Yes.
that beautiful intro. Thank you for having me again.
Of course, of course, of course. We don't have our claps in here, so we got to show them what
Oh,
it looks like in
yay,
here to
yay.
throw a little confetti. What you do? I wanted to bring you back. I really wanted the real world to see what your office space is like. We tell them so much about the city of Adam. We're always talking about it, but I think it was important to come into your space, as well as other individuals here, so people can actually see you doing it real time. And so I kind of want to piggyback on some of the conversations that we had for last season when you were here. Let's pick that conversation back up, okay?
Okay,
Um, we want to know what you got going on. Okay.
okay.
So tell us. Well, remind everybody what inspired you to start a finance business here in the metaverse, and also while you're answering that, help people understand what's the difference between a traditional business and being here in this space.
Okay. Well, hello, everyone. Like I said, thank you again for having me, Amina. It's always a joy talking with you and being interviewed and sharing my knowledge. Well, first of all, what inspired me first is, well, I'm divorced, and at time I was young at that time and everything, but I was left with nothing. Okay, so I had to start from ground zero, credit wise, finances, everything, $0, 500 credit score, all that stuff. So I had to rebuild from there. So, and then over the years, studying, educating myself, 20 years ago, started, writing grants and so forth. I received my financial coaching certification, started tax preparation and so forth, and teaching others, and coaching others in finances. So my initial drive was, because of what I went through, I didn't want other people to go through the same thing. Or if they
Mm,
were, to just encourage them that, life is not over. You can rise up from the bottom and rebuild. Okay. Even
mm-hmm.
though things may seem impossible, it's not impossible. You can rebuild your finances. It just takes some focus and some dedication and some discipline.
Okay.
And so the second question, what is the difference between a traditional,
Mm-hmm.
um,
And then you operating your business in a traditional sense
mhm.
versus being in the metaverse.
Okay, well, first of all, there is no difference, honestly. I look at the metaverse as just another location. For example, if I have an office, I have an office in Atlanta, also have an office in Louisville or New York. Those are the different branches. So I treat the metaverse as just a different branch office. That's all it
Mm-hmm.
is. Okay, you have locations, you have office spaces, you have your business expenses just as you would in the physical life as you would here in the virtual. Okay, you would have someone
Mm-hmm.
possibly to pay them to do this build, like I did here. Okay, if you have other expenses where this headset is an expense because I need this headset to come into virtual reality. So you're going to have expenses for your business just like you would in the physical. They may look a little different, but the operation of your business is the same.
It's the same. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Um, you know, I I want to get back to I'm gonna get back to our questions in just a second, but it's this is something that we say in this space all the time
Mm-hmm.
is we make the comparison about the real world and in here,
Mm-hmm.
the metaverse. And
Mm-hmm.
I really want us to stop saying it. Like we have to
Yes.
change our mindset on that because this
Yes.
is the real world too. We are
I was
real
gonna.
people.
Yes, I
Mm-hmm.
agree.
Yeah,
I
and
have
I
real
think
clients.
right.
I'm not role playing being a financial literacy instructor, a tax preparer.
Mm-hmm.
This is not role play. This is real life. So I totally agree. That's why I call it the physical life and the virtual life versus
Mm-hmm.
in real life and then because this is all real to me.
Mm-hmm.
What I do in the physical is real. What I do here in virtual is real because I'm talking to real people. The
Mm-hmm.
people come to me with real issues. They have credit repair issues. They want their taxes done. They need grants. These are real things going on.
Mhm. Mhm. I
And
just
this is a
wanted to
real business. I mean,
yes.
I went to the Secretary of State, got it registered. I have an EIN, all of that. So it's very real.
Yes. 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 Thank you for diving a little bit deeper in that too. I just been thinking about that lately, and the earlier that we start adapting that mindset and changing that
Hmm.
verbiage, people will
Hmm.
understand more than that. It's deeper than just a game or them just putting
Hmm.
on a headset to socialize. What are
Hmm.
some of the main challenges that you have faced in operating in a virtual environment?
Some of the challenges, um, maybe the marketing may be a little bit different, the outreach of people. And that meaning, just say you have a storefront in the physical life, and you may have people walking by, cars driving by. It's not the same here. We have the menu boards where we can see the worlds that are in here. You can see how many people are there. And so, being on social media, you have to promote yourself more, get out doing talk shows, events, and so forth. So the marketing is a little bit different. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Our word of mouth is very important, like I said,
Mm-hmm.
but that's where a bit of the social aspect does come in because we do socialize in here. We socialize, we do play games, but we are conducting business. So as I'm going to, we have birthday parties here in virtual reality. I go to birthday parties, introducing myself, talking to people and everything, going to different networking events. We have business networking events in here as well. So you have to socialize, get yourself out there, get yourself seen, and so that people know who you are and where you are.
Mm-hmm. That's the beauty of this space.
Mm-hmm.
And we talk about all the time, our brands that we, our businesses that we set up. We will
Mm-hmm.
have the opportunity to promote our businesses with other markets, other
Mm-hmm.
countries at a easier and a
Mhm,
cheaper rate than we would
mhm.
normally be able to do if, we were starting our business operating it in a traditional space.
Definitely. I've met
Mm-hmm.
people from all over the world. And that's one thing that this space, this virtual space, has really afforded. Is like I've met people from Africa, from England, Australia, Germany, from all over the
Mm.
place. And you may think, well, not everybody all over the world needs, taxes. That is true. But guess what? They need grants.
Mhm.
They need other things. They want financial literacy just like we do.
Mhm.
They need to learn how to budget. They, need other type of knowledge as well too. So, I mean, but the opportunity to meet people all over the world and spread your brand globally is right here.
Mhm. I love that. What's your strategy for building trust and credibility with people that, you want to work with or
Hmm.
either collaborate with or even to take it a step further if you want to do services for them? How do you
Hmm.
make that decision?
Well, well, as far as like if I'm taking on a client or something, well,
Mhm.
they come in and, we do a, 5 to 15 minute, a free consultation. They can basically brushstroke give me an overview of what it is that they're looking for or what it is they need. Do you need tax preparation, credit repair, or grants? And you can basically, do that. And if you, okay, I need my taxes done. I'm an individual. Here they are. Here it is. Boom. Or grants. I have a nonprofit or I have a business. This is what I want to do. And so then I assess it from there, whether or not I can assist them or not. Um, People, like if I'm going to do business with them or whatever, I observe people, I see what they're doing, just like you would do in the physical life, right? You just don't jump in, or at least you shouldn't. You just don't jump into business relationships with people on a first encounter. Okay.
Mhm.
You meet them just like you would in physical life. You talk to them. Maybe you go and check out their website or whatever. Do some research. Maybe have another conversation with them. And then before you decide to do that collaboration or form a business relationship or something like that. But it's the same thing in here. Observe people, how they interact with other people. Yes, we're avatars, but you can still tell, you can still see how they treat other people and how people respond to them and their whole interaction. So
Mhm.
but yeah, but that's how I, observe and I talk to people. So I think the communication is very, very important. And then the one thing that I do is that I treat people with respect. Okay.
Mhm.
Now,
Very much.
yeah, you treat people with respect. Your ideas may not be the same as mine, or I may not agree with what you're doing, and that doesn't make what you're doing wrong. Just
Mhm.
because I disagree with it, that's just your way of doing it. And I just find that we have to respect each other for that.
Awesome. You're right. Um I want to ask also with with meeting so many different people, I'm sure they have
Hmm.
questions and stuff when
Hmm.
they're about to go into business with you. How are you going to keep their information private? How is
Hmm.
that confidentiality work
Hmm.
in an open setting like this in virtual reality?
Hmm.
How do you ensure privacy and
Hmm.
security for your clients?
Right. So, I mean, great, great question. So, first of all, when I have my initial discussion with them, we can either do it here on the phone or on Zoom. If I meet the person here in virtual reality, most of the time it is here, but we keep it very high level.
Mm-hmm.
No, of course, no social security numbers, EINs, and all that jazz is exchanged. Right. When it's determined, okay, we're going to move forward, then we switch over to phone or Zoom, both, however it is. But all conversations are done at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And
See
then,
YouTube. Mm-hmm.
yeah, so we
No,
keep
go ahead.
everything confidential. Nothing is talked about, like I said, personal in here.
Mm-hmm. Yes, see YouTube. We as professionals, is still
Hmm.
in this space. We honor those codes and things that we learn with confidentiality and keeping people's information private. So that doesn't change because we're in virtual reality. So if
Hmm.
you are a business that's thinking about coming into this space, you still want to work with individuals that will protect your privacy as you would in the real world too. So
Hmm.
good stuff. Good stuff. So I want to kind of dive a little bit deeper into the services that you provide
Hmm.
because I've heard you mention about grant writing, and I know that that is one of the services that you provide. So, how do you approach identifying what funds would be available for an individual who is looking? How do you
Hmm.
tailor that grant proposal to
Hmm.
meet whatever needs they need?
Okay, first of all, it starts with that initial meeting with that person. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
determining what it is they want, what it is they're doing, what their goals, their mission, their vision, all of that. First, getting all that outlined, making sure that they are grant ready. Okay, so it's not enough just to have an idea. Okay, you have to have your documents in order, have your EIN, have your any letters of support that you may need, have a business plan, your executive summary, all that, your financials. Okay, have your operating budget in order. The financial part is the biggest part. So, because the thing is that you're applying for a grant. Why? Because you need money. So
Mm-hmm.
that foundation, that bank, that organization that is going to be giving the grant, they're going to want to know, what are you going to spend the grant money for? So if you don't have a budget, if you don't have an operations expense, report or anything like that, how do they know, or even how do you know what are you going to spend the money on? So
Mhm.
making first of all, making sure that all of those documents are in place. Because if they're not, then I can find a grant and be like, okay, oh, you said that you have a program for the homeless. Yeah, and it sounds great and all that, but then you don't have any documents ready, and I find
Mhm.
the grant, but it's due like maybe in the next couple of weeks or something like that. Then we've got to work really, really, really hard to pull everything together to apply for the grant. But if
Mhm.
you and people always ask me, well, when should I start getting my documents ready? I always tell them day one. When you form your business, when you start your program, whatever it is, start getting all those documents together so that when the opportunity comes, you're ready.
Mhm.
And it not even just for a grant, but what if someone were to walk up to you, maybe at an event or something, and say, "Hey, what do you do?" Say, "Oh, well, this is what I do. I do X, Y, Z." Oh, really? I love that idea. I've been looking to invest in something like that. How much do you need?
Mhm.
That's not the time to freeze. You should
Yes.
be able to give that person a number, because if they're ready to invest right then and there, you can get funded. But if you
Let's
say,
stay there.
well, let me get back to you,
Mhm.
you know,
Let's stay there for just a second. And
mm-hmm,
please don't let me probe too deep because this is a service that you provide and we want people to come and acquire your service.
mm-hmm,
But how do they start to know what they will need? Say for instance, they want to reach out to you for grant writing services and they
mm-hmm.
are compiling a list of possible resources. How do they even start to figure some of that stuff out?
Possible resources, as in resources for their
What are they
program or
gonna
their
need?
business.
Uh-huh.
Well,
Like what softwares and um
Well, okay, so you as a business owner, honestly, you should know that. So just say, for example, if you are, okay, we're still in winter, but summer is coming up. A number of people get involved with summer programs for the youth. I'm just going to use that as an example. So when you're outlining that program, right, you want it for the youth. Okay, so that's like your target market. And then you have to determine the age. Is it 8 to 12? Is it teenagers? What is it? And then what are you going to provide during that summer program? Okay, well, I'm going to teach classes. What type of classes? Well, I'm going to teach them maybe I'm going to teach them about virtual reality, the metaverse. So you're possibly going to need headsets.
mhm.
Okay, maybe laptops if you want them to go in 2D, versus 3D. I don't know, one or both. Who knows? It just depends on how your program is structured, right?
Mhm.
Okay, are you going to need a location? In IPL, in the physical life. So are you going to need a building, or are you going to rent one? Or an instructor? Do you need an instructor? Is that instructor gonna? How much are you going to allot for to pay the instructor? Do you need other materials? Are you going to provide transportation for those children to and from home? So, I mean, as you outline your program and what you're going to do, you're going to determine the resources.
Mhm.
You get what I'm saying?
I do. I do.
Yeah.
That's good stuff, GDeuce. Good stuff. Um so when you are like pulling your resources together to help clients, what tools do you use? Do you use any like AI tools to help you formulate and get the information you need? What tools can
hmm
you provide to us that you use?
Well, I'm a heavy user of AI. I love AI. Okay. AI is a great thing, everyone. I'm, just finishing up my an AI consultant certification now, as a matter of fact.
Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Really excited about that. But yeah, AI is a tool that I use. I use, different websites, to find grants, out there, as well as, I'm a member of different, grant communities where we share information and so forth.
Mhm.
So, I pull on, different things.
That's awesome. So you are so AI is a huge topic right now.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody
Mm-hmm.
is really talking about it. Some people are very concerned about it
Mm-hmm.
and also don't want to implement it across, their lives. What would
Mm-hmm.
you say to the individuals that are not really sold on AI yet?
Mm-hmm. I get it. I understand it. It's a new technology. The thing is that learn the technology, okay? It's going
Mhm.
to affect every industry, okay, one way or the other. Learn the technology and learn how it can enhance your job and enhance your business, okay? So don't just shy away from it. I look at it as like, when the internet first came about, and people were building websites. A lot of people, oh, no, the internet, that's not, no, we're not doing that. And now, of course, we're on the internet, everybody's got
Yes.
websites and this, that, and the other. Okay. Just learn the technology, because that's where it's going. Learn what it's doing. okay, and how it can enhance your job, your business, your life. Okay, you don't
Mhm.
have to use it in every area of your life or anything like that, but it can benefit. Like I said, I use it on a daily basis, honestly. And the thing is, I use it because it saves me so much time. Because the
So
time
much
that
time.
that I could be like, just say, for even when I'm responding to an email, and I have to say, okay, what do I want to write in this email? Okay, I need to have this, da 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 da. And sometimes, depending on the mood I'm in, I'm being honest, the mood I'm in or whatever, it takes me a little bit longer, but I can put in Chat GPT. Okay, I need to write this email to, and it's supposed to address this, da 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 da, and it gives me a nice response. Now I don't just copy and paste that into emails.
Mhm.
I read it to make sure it's saying exactly what I want, and most of the time, I tweak it because I want it to sound like me, right? Of
Mhm.
course.
Mhm.
And then I put it in. But it saves me so much time. And that gives me time to think of new ideas and do other things. So
Mhm.
it's a huge benefit.
I agree with you, GDeuce. And one of the best things that you said was it's a time saver. It really
Mm-hmm.
is. I do the same thing. I'll give Chat GPT a prompt to
Mm-hmm.
provide me something. I read it over again, and I may even feed it back to the prompt and ask it to spit it out again and compare.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I do like having access to AI tools. I also understand the other side of the population that has concerns about it, with
Mm-hmm.
it taking jobs, or you know um, all of the scare tactics that
Mm-hmm.
people say. But it, just like Elon said the other day, I think our governor Tate Reeves just mentioned it today. It's not going
Mm-hmm.
anywhere. AI is
Mm-mm.
here to stay,
Yes.
and we might as well just learn how to adapt and learn
Right.
and apply, because it's here.
Exactly.
It's
Mm-hmm.
here.
Yes. Yes.
So let's keep going. Because you are a popular lady around here when it comes down to figuring out our finances and what we need to do. Another huge finance thing is credit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and making sure that our credit is on point. I want to
Mm-hmm.
ask you a personal question.
Okay.
Is the credit system, is it overrated?
No, it's not overrated. No, no. Because the thing is that your credit, I mean, it's a reflection, honestly, it's a reflection of you,
Mm-hmm.
okay? And how you handle your finances. And it even shows even your discipline, okay? Because the
Mm-hmm.
thing is, it shows your payment history. Are you paying on time? Yes or no? If you're not, then okay, well, then that person's not very disciplined in making sure they get their payments in on time.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it
Mm-hmm.
says a lot about you, and and even show it even reports like your job history, like your employers could be on there. Oh
Mm-hmm.
man, this person's had 10 jobs in the last 3 years, or so. It just I mean there's different things, so it's not overrated.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but it's what creditors, banks, when you go to car lots, mortgages, all of that, they use that to determine your interest rate, and how much money you can borrow.
Mm-hmm. What, in speaking about credit repair, like what strategies do you give clients to kind of help them improve their credit scores?
hmm Well, step one is establish a budget, because a lot of times one of the biggest issues with credit is, okay, it could be payment history, or you're overutilizing your credit. You have a high credit utilization. So just say, for example, if you have a total credit of $10,000 and you're using $9,500 of it, that's not good. They should
Mm-hmm.
be at 30%. You
Mm-hmm.
should be only be using 3,000, or so of that 10,000. So, establishing a budget. So one, you know how much you have coming in, and when it goes out, you know exactly where it's going. So one thing that I instruct my clients to do is, like, over the next, just say 2 weeks, and even extend it to a month, so you can really get a full picture. Write down every penny you spend, all the way down to the coffee, to the snack machine, everything. And most people are shocked at the results. But most times they don't realize, or they are not, oh, wow, I spend this much money there. I didn't realize it because, we're in that swipe and tap, economy now. People don't write checks anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Very few people carry cash anymore. So it's easy to swipe your card or tap your phone, if you have Apple Pay or Google Pay or something like that. And you kind of like lose track, if you're
Mm-hmm.
not one of those people who's checking your accounts. And speaking of accounts, I always tell people, look, okay, so so someone asked me one time, they stopped me outside of church. They said, well, how do you do what you do, like, travel and this and that and all that, and how do I manage my money and everything. And I said, well, do you know what your checking account balance is? She goes, yeah, I just check it on my phone. And I said, and you believe it? She goes, well, the bank said. I said, big mistake. All due respect to banks and all that. But the thing is, you always reconcile, always balance your bank every month. Know that every penny that went in, and everything that comes out is correct, and that the pluses and the minus, the credits and the debits are correct. Because hey,
Mhm.
computers make mistakes. I'm in the tech industry. Been computer science major, all of that. Computers make mistakes. Okay. But the thing is, if you
Mhm.
don't catch it, you can't correct it. Okay. If you find an error, you can write to the bank, say, hey, this is not correct, blah, 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 blah. They'll make the adjustment. But I always say, always know the state of your flocks. Okay.
Mhm.
Know what that money's doing, and where it's going. Checking your balances all the time, even with your credit card statements. Okay. Making sure, you look over those statements, whether it's online or if you get the paper in the mail, look it over to make sure that, all the charges are correct. Okay. And make sure that they didn't accidentally, like I know over the last couple months, and I don't know why this has been happening, but I call them and they fix it. But they've been charging me a late fee. But I have my payments, I'm on auto pay. And I was like, hey, I'm on auto pay, which means I,
It's not
I
late.
shouldn't I shouldn't have a late fee. Okay. But they make the correction, and
Mhm.
all that, and it's always removed. But it's like, seriously, folks? But yeah, checking your accounts at all times, knowing. And so, step one, like I said, is the budgeting, knowing, because the thing is that you can't make adjustments if you don't know what to adjust.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
once you make once you do the budgeting, once you know where your money is going, then you can say, okay, I eat out 6 days a week. Maybe I can cut that down to three and take that other and apply that money to something else, to paying off your credit card or something like that. Making little
Mhm.
adjustments. And then the thing is that when you make these adjustments, folks, they are temporary. It's only for a season until you get things to where you want them to be. And then once you get there, then, I mean, yeah, you can go back to eating out 6 days a week, but then by that time you may figure, well, shoot, I can take that money and maybe
And
put it
do something
somewhere else
else.
and let it
Mhm.
work for me in some other kind of way, which is, really what you should do. But, hey, we all, have a lifestyle, and whatever that is, you know, we all have a desire for nice things. We all have a right to have nice things. And I always just say is, don't let those nice things have you.
Mhm.
Meaning, you're not running this rat race, working 2, 3 jobs just to maintain the stuff. When just the little
Mhm.
adjustments here and there will allow you have nice things and live a comfortable, stress-free life. Because that's
Mhm.
the goal, right?
It definitely is the goal. Budgeting is the way to go. It's something that my
Mm-hmm.
parents were adamant about with us growing up. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, we always, want to run off and do our own thing for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
But when you get back to the root of it,
Come on,
yes,
exactly.
they were huge advocates for us budgeting.
Mm-hmm.
And my parents every couple of months would sit at the table together. Me and my siblings would look at each other and say, they about to do the budget, y'all. Come on, let's go.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But
And,
yeah, that
and the thing is, there's tools out there now. There's between
mhm.
AI and then just other apps that'll help you with your budget. So every time you tap, every time you swipe, every time you're spending money, it's logging that for you, and then you can pull up a report and see where you're spending your money. So you don't have to do everything by hand unless you want to. Okay, you can
Mhm.
use a simple Excel spreadsheet if purchasing an app or whatever isn't in your budget. And I think that there's some free ones out there as well too. I'm not going to make any recommendations or anything, um, but the thing is that just always beware of, like, when you download those apps, make sure that okay, they want access to your phone, your contacts, your this, your that, and everything. Make sure you read everything, the terms, the fine print, and all that, and so that you always know what they have access to. That's the only thing I say. Just make sure you know.
Awesome. Now you got one more heavy hitter on you. It's tax season, darling. It's
Mm-hmm.
tax season. What should we be doing to prepare ourselves? Or are we behind the eight ball? Are we too late? Are we behind if we're just now
Mm-hmm.
getting prepared
Mm-hmm.
for tax season? Help us.
Okay, I would say you're never too late for anything. Okay, there may be some delay in there or something like that, but you're never too late because you can catch up. And I always just you all is well. Okay, if you have a lot that you need to do, you can always file an extension, and have until October to file if you need more time. But the tax deadline is April 15th. But the thing is that this isn't tax season. This is tax filing season. To
Mm.
me, tax season is all year long. You should be in that preparation, that thought mode all year long because life is happening like all the time. You should know, okay, like, okay, are there maybe adjustments you need to make, like in your household? People, they get married, they have kids. Now, we're at that point in life where, the elderly population is growing. So you have a lot of caregivers. So people are taking care of their parents. So, well, what is your family dynamic looking like? And so there's some
Mhm.
strategic planning, tax planning that should actually always be going on at all times. Kids are transitioning in college, out of college. So, maybe they're not they've reached that 24-year threshold or age limit to where, and then they're not full time in college anymore. You can't claim them on your taxes. There's different things. So you should always be in tax planning mode, knowing how it affects you, because some family life changes could change you from being getting a refund to you owing taxes,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm. What kind of specific challenges have you seen with individuals working in here in this space, with getting their taxes prepared and ready for filing?
Well, you know what? I mean, working in here, doing it, and working in the physical life is no different, honestly. The same
Mhm.
stuff, honestly, same stuff. But, people, I need my taxes done, but they don't have all their documentation. So it's the same thing, same thing. you know
Same
and the
issue.
thing is, that's okay. Well, you need to, okay, you need to go to, the payroll website. And I'm careful not to mention names, because giving
Mhm.
people free,
Mhm.
but and download your W-2s and all that. Or you need to, go here, get this information. Okay, you can go to your bank, get your interest, all of that. So it's just like, directing them to, okay, you need this, you need that, you need this, you need that. It's like tax filing taxes is every year. So you
Mhm.
should always just like, if you need to, like, have that list of those things that you need to get. And then, like, the people, for some reason, they always forget, like, their donations. Whether you're giving at
They're
church, whether you're giving to
charitable.
other, yeah, your charitable donations, church,
Mhm.
clothing, the homeless, whatever it is. If you've given to a nonprofit organization of any type, that is tax deductible. And a lot of times that can really make a big difference. It can save you,
From
you know.
having to pay. Mhm.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, if you're a big giver, yeah, yeah. And that's one thing, I always encourage people, like, near the end of the year, do an assessment. Like, well, what does it look like for me when I file? Am I going to owe? If that's the case, well, you know what? Go ahead and decide at that point. I'm going to go ahead and make a donation so I don't maybe owe as much.
Mhm. Mhm.
So
Mhm.
either give it to that nonprofit or give it to the IRS or give it to the government. One of the two.
Mhm.
So,
With tax codes changing all the time, how do you stay
hmm
informed and stay up to date on what you need to do?
I'm always taking classes. I'm always networking with different people. I'm always in webinars. It's always an education thing.
Mhm.
So it's just us stay in education all year long, all year.
Mhm. Okay.
So I just don't
What's
do it just now, but it's, like I said, it's a continuous and ongoing thing.
constantly evolving, making sure your statement here on the wall by Robert, say his last name.
Kiyosaki,
Yes,
Kiyosaki.
that's a beautiful statement and it goes
Mm-hmm.
perfectly with what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
YouTube, it says the single most powerful asset we all have is our mind. If it is well trained, it can create enormous wealth.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm, enormous wealth.
Yes.
So, with that being said, what is your vision for the future of financial services,
Mm-hmm.
especially here in a virtual space?
Mm-hmm.
How do you plan to adapt?
Mm-hmm. Well, one thing, I'm educating myself more as far as blockchain and crypto.
Hmm.
Yes. So yes. So that is, that's another technology, another maybe investment space that I know I need to gain more knowledge of, so that I'm really venturing into and learning more about it, and then
Hmm.
also learning more about being the bank,
Hmm.
utilizing life insurance to actually fund your different projects and so forth, so you don't have to go to banks and other places to find funding. So basically, me being my own bank.
I can't wait till you come back to the city to teach that class. Yeah, we need to know that
Mm-hmm.
as well
Mm-hmm.
for a community,
Mm-hmm.
how we can do that as a community as well. That's a great skill to start learning and have that information. So yeah, I want to hear more about that when you when you become completely skilled and ready to share.
Okay, definitely. I definitely will. Definitely will.
Well, look, we're gonna dive into my Did You Know segment. I prepared one for every show.
Mm-hmm.
And this one will be no different. I want to talk about taxes, the history of taxes, honestly. So, and of course, I pulled a lot of this information from our famous Chat GPT. I love it.
Love
But
ChatGPT.
right? In 3000 BCE, the ancient Egyptians, they
Mm-hmm.
started taxing their residents, and all of the scribes kept a record of their tax obligations. But a lot of times they traded with food, goods, labor for the exchange of their tax obligation. And then
Mm-hmm.
in ancient Rome in 508 to 476, they also uh, introduced paying taxes. So that tax was usually for property taxes, inheritance taxes, and sales taxes. And then in medieval Europe, around the 5th to the 15th century, they also imposed taxes. The kings imposed taxes to fund their wars and pay for infrastructure. Um, and so from there, I think maybe it kind of died off. Where there was really not much talk anymore about it, but it came about again in 1799 in United Kingdom. That's kind of when the whole income tax thing really took off. It's in the beginning of the 1800s, and it kind of spread worldwide after that point. And of course, the United States, we adapted it in 1861. Was the first federal income tax was introduced to help pay for the Civil War in the Revenue Act. It funded the war in 1861. It was appealed in 1872, but reinstated in 1894. Um, the Supreme Court deemed it unconstitutional in 1895. Ain't that something?
Mm.
So, can we go back to that?
Right. It's
But
too
of
late.
course, right, since then we have become more modernized with how our tax system works, and it appears that it is here to stay. So that is our Did You Know segment on the history of governments imposing taxes on their people.
Wow.
So, GDeuce, before we wrap up, I know that you are so much more than the finance lady in this space. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you're doing a
Mm-hmm.
lot with your production company and
Yes.
writing. Fill
Mm-hmm.
us in. I know we kind of
Mm-hmm.
chatted a little bit before we
Mm-hmm.
ended last show that you were working on a project. You didn't tell
Mm-hmm.
us. You still
Mm-hmm.
working on it? What's going
Still
on?
working on Kente. Actually, should be
Okay,
releasing it
good.
like really, really, really soon. But
Okay.
there's another project I'm working on for Black History Month. A wonderful video project. So, but yeah, but I've been in the video production for the past, well, since like 2003. I started actually with my church, running camera and doing all that, and just fell in love with that. And so, again, took classes and everything, and worked on some shows, being floor
Mm-hmm.
director, doing lighting and camera work and editing and all that good stuff. And then, directing, and been, done features and short films, all of that stuff. And now, videotaping or videoing and creating projects here in the metaverse is really a joy because, one, it costs so much less here in the metaverse. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, logistically, it is so much easier. If you need a location, you just build it. And it takes you less than a day to even build it. You don't even have to rent it, or you can find a build, and then, rent it, if you want, but it doesn't even cost you not even half, not even a quarter. I mean, it's just so, I mean, and then you don't even have to worry about craft services. You don't even have to feed the folks either, y'all. Come on. Come on. Really? Come on. And then
You're funny.
wardrobe is
Mm-hmm.
easy too. Hair and makeup, come on, it's a matter of click, click, click. You can change a person.
Yes.
You can change their hair instantly. No more than sitting in that chair for what, an hour for someone doing their hair and all that, doing their makeup. You can do it, boom, right there. And the thing is, ageism is totally out the door. If you have a voice, and if
Yes.
you're 60 years old and you can sound like you're 20 or whatever, you can do it. Because you can just change your avatar to look like anything you want.
This is the space. This is
It's
the
the
space to
space.
do it.
And as you can see, we're very expressive, right?
Yeah, I would say so.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to more updates that Meta provides. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure our facial expressions are going to become more realistic
Yes. Mm-hmm.
as the time evolves. We can look at it with just some of the movies that are coming out that they are using VR.
Mm-hmm.
virtual reality technology. Their faces and
Mm-hmm.
stuff is interacting with the
Mm-hmm.
camera. So yeah, we are in the right place. And you're
Mm-hmm.
absolutely right when you say about the cost. You're
Mm-hmm.
able to save so much money in here.
Mm-hmm.
For example, you guys in here running your businesses here in the city of Adam, you don't
Yes.
have to really have a storefront or brick
Mm-hmm.
and mortar anymore. You can come in here, set up a
Mm-hmm.
virtual space, pay, oh my God, fractions for what you would
Fractions.
pay for a building monthly, yearly, with the insurance,
Mm-hmm.
with the mortgage.
Right? Insurance?
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
don't have to worry about it burning down. This is virtual reality, y'all. Come on.
Now the
Floods? You
scripts
don't have to
may
worry
not
about
work.
flooding.
The
You
scripts
know?
may not work for a minute, but it's technology. I'll give it a second.
Mm-hmm.
It'll work itself
Mm-hmm.
out.
Right, right, right.
Any closing remarks you got, GDeuce, on what you got coming, or any final remarks?
Yeah, well, just be on the lookout for my video projects. Come on into the metaverse, y'all. It's great. The socialization, the business aspect is just wonderful. If you have any questions, just come on in and ask us. If you don't have a headset, you can always enter in 2D meeting via your PC or your phone. So just come on in and explore. You see our usernames up here. I think they can see
Mm-hmm. They
Amina
can.
007, GDeuce underscore VR. We're on social media, the same handles on IG. Hey, send us a DM. Let us know, hey, I want to explore this whole metaverse thing. We'll give you a tour. So come
Mm-hmm.
on in, jump in.
Mm-hmm.
The water's fine.
Well, I want to thank you so much for coming back. It
Hmm.
was a pleasure to have you the first time, and it's an
Hmm.
absolute pleasure to have you again. It won't be the last. You'll be back. I love
Thank you.
having you here in the city of Adam. You set a great example for how businesses should be consistent and running in this space. We appreciate you so much for you putting your head down and just getting the work done. That
Hmm.
is it. It actually fuels us, and it shows that this is a working product. So thank you
Hmm.
so much.
You're
Um,
very welcome.
Absolutely. YouTube, we want to thank you all so much for taking the time to join us again tonight. As I mentioned before, this is a new segment that we're doing on the road in the city of Adam. Please stay after this interview because a tour of this beautiful space will be inserted in the video. We want to show you what we can produce around here. Shout out to the Primitive Shapes team who is responsible for this beautiful build and the production of the city of Adam. They're marvelous at what they do. CEO Golden Hand and project manager Dunder Bills, alongside of me, we work to manage this space. If you're interested about bringing your business in to work alongside of GDeuce on one of these blocks, please reach out to us, primitiveshapes.ca. You can also visit the website there to get more information about us. We look forward to seeing you back. See you next week. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Hi, everyone. This is GDeuce, and welcome to my office, Bara Financial Services. Hi, everyone. This is GDeuce, CEO and founder of Bara Financial Services, your financial coach here in the metaverse. Welcome to my virtual office here in the city of Adam. Well, it's my pleasure right now to guide you through this space. Well, this office is more than just a digital workspace for me. It's a representation of my passion for financial empowerment and my dedication to creating a welcoming environment for all of my clients and collaborators alike. Well, this build that you're going to see was customized specifically for me by the incredible team at Primitive Shapes. It's led by Golden Hands, Dunderbills, and Amina. So bringing a branch of my office to the metaverse, it was really exciting for me. And I couldn't have done it without their expertise and their guidance. From the very beginning, we worked very closely together, ensuring that every detail aligned with my vision. In Dunder Builds, he was very responsible throughout the process, bringing all of my ideas to life. And I must give a special shout out to Amina because without her expertise, the decorations, the color layout, and so forth, it wouldn't have happened without her. So, right now, as you can see, we're in the reception area. So, whether you're here for a consultation, training session, or a team meeting, This reception area here serves as a gateway to all the resources and guidance that I provide. Next, let's step into my personal office. Well, this is where I hold one on one meetings with clients. As you can see, the decor, it fits my brand and my personal style while focusing on professionalism and warmth. I want everyone to feel welcome here. And it's really ideal for introductory meetings. So that's why I wanted it set up for. And if we move into more detailed and confidential parts of our conversation, I always transition those meetings to Zoom or a phone call because my purpose is to maintain your privacy and security.
Go ahead.
Now, let's head into the training room. Well, this is the training room. And as you can see, the centerpiece here is this large video screen behind me. Well, this room is designed for interactive learning and group discussions. So as you can see with the big screen, we're very well prepared for video presentations. And here I conduct classes on budgeting, credit repair, grant writing. Each session is tailored to empower participants with the knowledge and tools they need to achieve their financial success. So, here in the conference room, this is where collaboration begins. Here, I meet with business teams, families, nonprofit organization. This room is all about strategizing and building plans, building financial dreams, making them all a reality. And the setup encourages open communication and teamwork. So here, I just want to foster an environment where ideas can flow freely. So throughout this tour, I hope you've been able to feel the intentionality behind every aspect of this build. And every room serves a purpose. It reflects my dedication to my clients. And I want to make sure that this is a workspace, a hub for learning, collaboration, and transformation. Thank you for joining me in my virtual office, and I hope to see you soon here in the City of Atem.